Hi, I'm Alpina Singh, and welcome to Check Please, a show where regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how the show works. Every week we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 go to check them out to see what they think. This week, lawyer Diego Martinez Krippner says in a town where the bar for terrific tacos is set pretty high, you should follow him to his unpretentious spot for a taste of greatness. But creative consultant Carrie Lee Young says for an unforgettable dining experience, it's all about the details. She says for fresh Midwest ingredients and a wild whiskey selection, follow her to her pick. But up first, enterprise architect Tracy Caldwell says the excitement always builds when she dines at her favorite restaurant. She says for insanely good Japanese influenced cuisine that's cute and cozy, join her at Kitsune.
I want somebody to be like, wow, that was like amazing. I've never had anything like that before. And Japanese, I would say, you know, other than French cooking, it's probably the most refined and most technical food out there.
The focus on product, you know, that's one of the things that I think is very important in Japanese cuisine and in the food culture. So I think that Ian really has like a knack for taking something and not necessarily changing it, but just bringing out the best of what it is.
I mean, that's why we do this, right? I mean, it's all about hospitality and, you know, comforting people and making them feel good. That's why we're in this business, right?
So Tracy, you say that Kitsune is wonderfully whimsical. Tell us why you chose it.
Well, as you said, it's wonderfully whimsical. I've followed Chef Ileana Reagan for years. I actually had the opportunity to visit her apartment when she was doing pop-up dinners there. So when I heard about Kitsune opening, I was excited to visit and try it out, particularly because it's Japanese influenced, and I have been to Japan. I really enjoy Japanese food. The food and the excellent service, the wonderful bar program, as well as the really cozy decor. She has all of these wonderful little whimsical touches throughout the restaurant, the little bunny-shaped chopstick holders, the Japanese tableware, the fox mural in the bathroom. Kitsune means fox. So the whole kind of package, I think, is really one of a kind.
So, Carrie, Kitsune is a spirit animal in
Yes.
Japanese lore. Did you feel the magic?
I did. I did. It was adorable. It was an adorable space, but it didn't feel childish. It was cute, but not immature. You know what I mean?
First of all, the restaurant is tiny.
Like a shoebox.
I mean, it's like maybe 8 tables.
I think they said they could maybe fit like 27 people total inside.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I've also had the privilege of being to Japan, and one of the things that I like most about Japanese cuisine in general is an amount of attention to detail that I think is very hard to get here. And this cuisine has that. I mean, you notice it the second that you see the little chopstick holders that are absolutely adorable. You see it when you go to the bathroom and there's this incredible Kitsune mural. And so I think that's something that's reflected not just in the decor, but also with the dishes that you get.
One of my favorite dishes of all time in Japanese cuisine is okonomiyaki. And having had it in Japan 20 years ago, I came back to Chicago and searched and searched and searched for it and could never find it. In fact, found recipes and made it at home myself.
Yeah, well, in Japan, as I've been to Japan, okonomiyaki is street food. Like you go to Osaka, you go to Hiroshima or Kyoto, and every city has their own version of it. And it's best described as like a custard-like pancake with lots of toppings on it.
And savory pancake, because I think a lot of people, when they hear pancake, think of kind of a typical, you know, savory, sweet kind of a pancake. And the is it donbushi on the top, the waving bonito flakes?
Yeah, it does. There's a movement to it. It's sort of like
was amazing to watch.
And I think the flavor of those bonito flakes are just so much umami, and it adds so much to the dish. So I think that's kind of the best part about it.
Carrie, what did you order?
Everything. We started with the koji bread and got the pickled vegetables with it.
How'd you like
How
the
was
bread?
it?
'Cause they make
my
that bread there.
gosh. I actually joked with the server that I said, is there any way that I can get some like French toast made with this bread? And she's like, oh, that'd be amazing for brunch. And I'm like, brunch? Well, we had the charred corn, and then we had the, I know, magic. And
It's
then
like Mexican street corn.
Yeah,
It's like a play on
and
it.
then it had
The wavy fish.
yes, the wavy fish. And like, it was really cool when our server, her name was Sarah, when she set it down, she's like, watch it come alive. And I'm like, what are we experiencing? And I was like, what is this? Oh, we had the octopus ramen. It was the best, most perfect octopus I've ever had cooked in my life. And then we had the donuts to finish off with.
Donuts were awesome. I really
Oh,
enjoyed
yeah.
those.
Diego, what did you eat?
What did we get? We started off with the shishito peppers, and I could probably just sit there at the table drinking Orions for hours on end. It's just a really nice, I feel like a place, or that's the type of dish where you have an attention to detail, which is very fresh, very well cooked peppers.
Were they hot? Because shishitos can go either way.
I mean, they lingered on your
Yeah,
tongue a little
okay.
bit.
Did you try the budino?
No, we just had the donuts.
Talk about not wanting to share. I was there with a group of 6 of us, which was large for that restaurant, and we were elbowing each other out of the way to get at the last bite of that.
So this is not your restaurant that you recommended, but price point wise, where does this fall?
Maybe not the place that I would go on a Wednesday night every single week. However, I think this is a place that I would go once a month if I lived around the corner.
So if you're sitting on the banquette at Kitsune, right? You look at the bar, and you see these little Japanese trinkets, etc. And one of them is decidedly not Japanese.
No, it's not. And it was
awesome.
magic.
Yeah.
And I stared at it, and it was a picture of Barack Obama. And it was
A spirit animal of sorts.
He is a true spirit animal. And I had an option. I could either sit and look at my husband, or I could just kind of shift to the side a little bit and look into Barack's eyes, and I did.
All right, Tracy, you pick Kitsune, sum it up for us.
If you want to experience modern Japanese influenced izakaya, innovative, delicious dishes, and a quirky, whimsical, cozy decor, go to Kitsune.
Diego?
It's a place where attention to detail matters, and the results speak for themselves.
And Carrie?
It was whimsical, it was spot on, and it's something that I would definitely drive an hour to go and experience again.
Well, you can try the ramen and much more at Kitsune, 4229 North Lincoln Avenue, 773-687-9179. They're open Tuesday through Sunday, and they are closed on Mondays. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $85. Diego Martinez Krippner knows tacos don't always need to be trendy. He says for terrific tripe, al pastor, and much, much more, follow him to Little Village and stop in at La Chaparrita.
Very colorful. It's a very colorful place. You can't spot it out. Once you get inside, you're just kind of like blown away. Like, oh, okay. Kind of a little bit of Mexico City. All the tacos are honestly great. There's a few that are more popular, but there's usually some people that are more, adventurous. The more popular ones are like the marinated pork, the asada, the chorizo is really good too. Everything's really good. When people come in, we try to be friendly. We try to get to know you. You know, we might try to consider you family. They're proud of what they're doing. So I think that that's kind of what sets it apart.
So Diego, you say that La Chaparrita charms your taste buds. Tell us why you chose it.
I really like this place because when I was growing up, my dad's a Latin American history professor. We'd spend summers going down to Mexico City. And while it's a very, at that point, very unfamiliar for me, I came to love it. And this is a place that I can go and all of a sudden kind of have like various moments from my childhood just rush back.
Oh, that's amazing. You know, there are so many of these taco places throughout Chicago, and they're on the corners, and they look unassuming, you know, and you want to go try it, but you don't know. So I have to ask, how did you discover this place?
I just fired up Google Maps, and all of a sudden it's kind of like, hey, there's this grocery store that also serves tacos. And then you kind of do a little bit more searching, and all of a sudden you kind of realize, like, wait a second, this actually is a place that people go for tacos and not groceries. And so I was just like, well, I got to check it out.
And it was love at first bite.
Yeah, for sure.
So Carrie, you went with your husband, Chris.
I sure did.
What'd you think?
We definitely went on a taco tour, if you will, and went with the boneless chuck. I'm not going to tell you how many tacos we ordered. But I'll tell you.
First round, because
Thank
we
you.
always have, you always
not
want
cool.
one.
Counting's no. So we did boneless chuck, we did the marinated pork, and then I got him to try tongue.
They do offer these very exotic tacos. They have brain, tongue, sweetbread, tripe.
The brain. But I think I will be adventurous and try it next time.
I'm not a brain guy.
No?
Yeah, so it's totally fine.
I did have some of their fresh squeezed juice.
Yes.
I loved it. I loved everything about it.
We had the watermelon juice. It was very hydrating and thirst quenching when we tried the salsa, which was delicious, but a little bit on the spicy side for me. And they bring it with a bowl of radishes, which for me, I have never had salsa with radishes. We weren't even sure if that's what we were supposed to do, but
I mean, I just sit there and eat them, so.
Well, we put the salsa because we wanted a vehicle for the salsa.
Makes
You wanted the
sense.
chips.
We wanted the chips. They don't serve chips, which is fascinating to me. I think it's the first Mexican restaurant I've ever been to that doesn't have chips. In fact, it's a grocery store and they don't sell chips.
Huh,
so
very interesting.
we even went on a little hunt for it. And so we said, well, we have these radishes and they're right next to the salsa. Let's give that a try. And it was actually a pretty interesting combination. And we tried the huaraches, which I loved, with steak and two different kinds of sauces on there, the red and the green, but I loved both of the sauces.
Did you try any of the more exotic tacos?
My husband did. We both, I think, kind of preferred the steak and the al pastor tacos, which were really delicious.
I really like the tripas. The tripas are, I'm not really an organ meat kind of guy, but these, for whatever reason, are super crispy. You can get them crispy. I get them crispy. Just very fatty, taste like beef. They're great. It's my go-to. I like the carne asada and the cecina as well, the salted steak.
We tried a lot. Even had dessert. We had the tres leches cake, which was pretty tasty.
I love the licuados. I don't know if either of you had those, but they kind of make a little smoothie that's like
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't try that.
banana, sugar, milk, cinnamon. It's great.
So Diego, you know, we have so many different kinds of taco places in Chicago. You know, who would you recommend this place to?
Well, this is where I take people that I really care about. Because I think this is an experience that everyone can have a good time on a patio, just drinking margaritas. But when you're in a place like this, that whenever I go there, there are like families, there are old people, there are young people. It's just very much a just wide range of folks who enjoy this food.
When we think about going out and grabbing tacos, we usually default to a couple of the more foofy, higher end places that are in our area. But this brought me back down to thinking, go to where it's starting from.
It's so cute and it's so
Very
colorful
bright, yeah.
and you know there are flags hanging from the ceiling. I felt like I was in Mexico and I felt like I was in Grandma's kitchen in Mexico.
So Carrie, you did have one complaint about La Chaparrita.
I do. Don't
No,
smack
it's
me.
fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, my hands are under the table.
My only complaint is I was disappointed to see that they really don't have much of a digital presence. I would have loved to have seen their menu online before getting there.
Well, so many people like to do their pre-research. They like to look at the photos and kind of go, I want to eat
It's like
this
a
and that.
trailer for a movie, you know, you get to see what you can experience, and then when you walk in, you get the full event.
All right, Diego, you chose La Chaparrita. Sum it up for us.
This is where I take people to eat tacos that I care about, and they're people that I care about.
Carrie?
I would have to say this is a place to just go and get your taco on.
All right. And Tracy?
Visit La Chaparrita for the authentic feeling of being transported to Mexico and delicious home-style cooking.
All right, well, you can taste the tacos and much more at La Chaparrita, 2500 South Whipple Street, 773-254-0975. And they're open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations are not accepted. Alcohol is BYOB, and the average tab per person is $15. Strolling through the streets of her hometown is one of Carrie Lee Young's favorite things to do. She says pair that with a dining experience that goes off without a hitch, then you can do no wrong when you follow her to Niche.
When you come out to see Niche, you get the whole downtown area of Geneva, which is beautiful. I mean, it's kind of, I always try to compare it like Mayberry. We really pride ourselves on service. I think most of all, the kitchen always does a great job with the food that they do. You can have an excellent steak and a nice glass of bourbon. I want customers to say it was fantastic. If you don't have good service, it ruins everything. We have a lot of whiskeys here. If there's something we don't have that's really good, I try to get it. So we get a lot of really allocated stuff that a lot of the new restaurants don't seem to get. And I've been awarded one of the top whiskey bars in America, and are going to keep working on that and adding to the 400 plus bottles we have.
So Carrie, you say that Niche suits you perfectly. Tell us why you chose it.
Oh, I have been a patron of Niche since the day they opened their doors. And there is just something that is just done so perfect and so effortlessly that it keeps us coming back. This is something that if I had the opportunity, I would go there on a weekly basis.
So Diego, Geneva was a bit of a homecoming for you as well.
Yeah, so my dad grew up in Geneva, and my grandparents, yeah, they've been living there since probably, I think, 1963 or 64.
So your grandparents still live in Geneva?
I went to Niche with my grandmother and my aunt and uncle and cousin.
Adorable.
Yeah, it's a great little town, and it's also very nice to pair this with a walk along the Fox River or just a stroll down 3rd Street.
Miss Tracy, self-professed city slicker.
Exactly.
Were you surprised by Niche?
I was very surprised in a very pleasant way. When I realized I was going to Geneva, I thought, okay, that's a long way.
Or did you ride the train?
We took the train.
Yes.
And actually it was right there.
And it's such a lovely walk from the train station to the restaurant.
We walked up 3rd Street, went in, and it was just kind of like, here we are. I didn't know what to expect. From looking at the menu, it just sort of looked like, okay, continental menu. And we were so blown away. We had the kale salad, which was actually so delicious. And again, you know, it had so much going on in there. It had little fried chickpeas and a lot going on for a kale salad. And we had the fried chicken appetizer, which I would have been happy.
Yeah.
I swear, it just kind of evolved that way. But I would eat that fried chicken all day long. I almost didn't want to order, you know, the rest of dinner. I thought, just bring me more of those. It was so good. And we shared a steak with pickled ramps.
Okay.
Again, with the ramps.
Yeah, team ramp.
So Carrie, give us a couple of like amazingly memorable dishes you've had at Niche.
I've had amazing cheese and sausage boards, fried chicken.
Homemade cheese and sausage.
I know, and
Well, sausage.
I forgot one.
oh, tell me.
The soup. The corn soup.
The corn soup was incredible.
Oh,
I was actually,
my God,
yeah,
how
no,
did
I fully,
Okay.
How did
Yeah.
I not remember that?
yeah.
Yeah, I love all their salads that they always do. One of the best things that we've ever had is when they collaborate and they source out from local places, local farms, local meat markets, local butchers. They had, that night that we were there, a 3-week dry-aged bone-in ribeye. And they had prepared it perfectly with some pickled vegetables on top. I want Niche to compete in a pickling championship because everything that they do that's pickled is to die for. Anybody have the pork belly?
Unfortunately, no.
It's like made with unicorn tears. It's a beautiful thing.
A unicorn pork belly.
But like the broth, I'm like, this is just so perfect.
I ate the hanger steak. I tried a lot of other things that my family members also tried. One of the things that I thought was very good was both the cheese board and the sausage plate. I went on a Wednesday night, which I believe is half-price beer night for certain
Yes.
drafts. I would go there if I lived in downtown
How did you
Geneva.
like that beer selection?
They have a great beer selection.
know.
Really good cocktails too. I mean, we could get to.
Did you have cocktails?
I had cocktails. We had beer. Then we got the boozy shakes.
Oh,
and
yes.
yeah, had a
Had that
pink
too.
squirrel. Had something else. They were great. I mean, I would go there on a Wednesday and have a sausage board, cheese plate, some beer, and then have some boozy cocktails.
I mean, we have to talk about the whiskey selection.
It's crazy.
Over 400 selections.
Oh.
Even
gosh.
some dating back to like Prohibition.
I just have to ask. I mean, it's great that they
I'm
have
going
it.
back.
It's amazing.
But like, why?
You know,
Why not?
best answer out there.
Would you say that if this restaurant were in downtown Chicago, it could hold its own?
I think so. I mean,
agree.
I've been to New American Cuisine restaurants within Logan Square or Wicker Park, and this could hold or exceed any expectations with restaurants like that.
I agree.
I was very surprised.
All right, Carrie, you pick Niche. Sum it up for us.
I would go to Niche on an ongoing basis and don't save it for a special occasion.
Tracy?
I would definitely go back to Niche for amazing, innovative preparations and top-notch service.
And Diego?
It's New American Cuisine that's worth getting excited about, and it's not that far on the train.
Well, you can try the dry-aged ribeye and more at Niche, 14 South 3rd Street, 630-262-1000. They're open Tuesday through Thursday, 5:30 through 9:30, and Friday and Saturday, 5:30 through 10 p.m. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $27. So in this week's show, we featured Kitsune in Lincoln Square, Niche in Geneva, and La Chaparrita Grocery in Little Village. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we came to Lincoln Avenue and dined at Kitsune. Tracy recommends it for the Midwestern ingredients and the whimsical touches. Diego loved the attention to detail in the food and decor. Carrie thought the space was adorable and the presentation was magical. Next, we traveled to Whipple Street and stopped in at La Chaparrita. Diego recommends it for being family-friendly with fantastic tacos. Carrie loved trying all the exotic tacos and the homemade juices. Tracy missed the chips, but loved the homemade feel and flavors. Lastly, we made our way to the western suburbs and noshed at Niche. Carrie recommends it for a creative experience that's absolute perfection. Tracy was blown away by the unique ingredients and delicious food. Diego said it exceeded his expectations and loved everything he had. Well, we've had just a wonderful time this week, and I'd like to thank my guests, Tracy Caldway, Carrie Lee Young, and Diego Martinez-Krippner. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Alpana Singh, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.